Hi students, welcome to first year commerce class. In our previous class, we have discussed about the factors determining the choice of source of finance based on cost, based on flexibility, based on control, based on creditworthiness. We will choose from whom we have to take the financial assistance. As already I have explained, for financial assistance we will have different alternatives. Alternative sources will be there. So which one is to be taken? So now exactly we will understand what are the sources available. For example, you have established a company. You want to start a company. You require some 100-200 crores of capital. So what are the various sources available in the market for you? Just in the previous class I told you that if you want to construct a house, if you require 15 to 20 lakhs of home loan, you got the options of various banks like Union Bank of India, State Bank, or say ICICI or HDFC. Like that you got different options. So based on their conditions, your repayment capacity, rate of interest, you will decide from whom the loan is to be taken. Similarly, if you establish a joint stock company, that too particularly a public company, where you require some hundreds of crores as capital, what are the various sources available for you to get that capital, to procure that capital? In my previous class I told you that without capital you cannot carry out any business activity. Okay, in order to accumulate all the factors of production like land, labor, to recruit employees, to buy material, you require money. पैसे के बगैर कुछ भी नहीं चलता. So from whom you have to take? What are the various sources available? That we have to understand. We are going to discuss the various sources of business finance in this class. Okay. The other day I told you that based on time period, that means repaying period, how many years you take to repay that loan, we divide the finance, business finance into three categories: long-term finance, medium-term finance, and short-term finance. I told you that long-term sources, long-term finance is to be paid for a period of more than 5 years. Here, you will be repaying the loan in a time period of more than 5 years. For medium term, you take 1 to 5 years. Exceeding 1 year but less than 5 years. Here, within 1 year you have to repay. Within 1 year, you have to repay your loan. This is the condition. Long term means you will take more than 5 years to repay your loan. Medium term we will take 1 to 5 years time period. For short term we take 1 year period. Within 1 year you have to complete. That means if you have taken loan in the month of January 2020, so by December 2020 you have to clear the loan. You cannot extend it. You cannot say that I will pay next year, or next year you give me more chance, more time period. No. So these are the conditions. Long term you can take 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. Okay, like a house loan. We can take loan for 15 years. So that is what called as time period basis. So long term finance is more than 5 years. Medium term finance is 1 to 5 years. Short term finance is within 1 year. This is what we have discussed in the previous class. Now, what are the sources? Okay, you will repay the loan after 5 years. No problem. But who are going to give you? From whom you have to take the capital? That is called source. किधर मिलेगा आपको ये पैसे? You cannot sit on road in Santosh Nagar bus stop stating that I want long-term finance, please give me 10 crores. You can't beg on the road. Okay, there will be a proper channel, there will be a proper procedure to procure this capital, to take this capital. So what are the various sources available? First one is equity shares. Okay, the first source of long-term finance is equity shares. What do you mean by equity shares? The shares which are ordinary, okay, that do not have any preferential rights in terms of receiving dividend and in terms of capital back at the time of winding up of company are called as equity shares. Means these are the ordinary shareholders. They do not have any priority while paying the dividend. What is dividend? Share in profit. Okay, equity shareholders will get the dividend at last. They get dividend at last. At last means after paying to all these people, after paying all other sources, clearing all the expenditure, if anything is left, then only they will get. So equity shareholders will get dividend at last. Okay, and they do not have any preferential rights, means they cannot say that you pay us dividend first. Not like that. They are paid dividend at last. Clear? They are the real owners of the company. What is equity share? What is share is nothing but a certificate. Okay, it is a certificate like some document. It's like a document. The company's name is written over that. So if you buy 100 shares, you are given the certificate. Miss so and so has purchased 100 shares in our company. One certificate is given to you. So on that, the share price will be mentioned. Like on a currency note, if you have got 20 rupees currency or 100 rupees currency or 2000 rupees currency note, that note value is written over that. Na? Similarly, on every share, the face value is written on that. Whether it is 100 rupees share or 50 rupees share, I told you earlier that there will be 2 rupees to 2000 rupees, 20,000 rupees share in the market. So that share value is mentioned, a document is there. So that is purchased from the company by the people. The people who buy the shares are called as shareholders. So, if you purchase the equity shares, you are given the dividend at the end. Means after paying all the expenses, after paying dividend to preference shareholders, after paying interest to these debenture holders, if anything is left, then you will get the dividend. Otherwise, no. But you will have voting right. Equity shareholders will have voting right to participate in the meetings of the company, and they can participate in the elections, appointing the board of directors. They can express their opinion, but dividend is paid at the last. What is dividend? Dividend means share of profit given to shareholders. Okay, dividend means share of profit given to shareholders. That is decided by the board of directors. How much share is to be given? That is decided as rate, 10%, 12%, 20% dividend. So if company profits are more, equity shareholders will get more dividend. If company profits are less, they will get less dividend. If no profit, they will get anything. No profit, no dividend. Remember this point. Equity shareholders will get dividend only when the company is earning profits. Because I have written the definition of dividend. Dividend means share of profit given to shareholders. Clear? Only in the event of profits, the shareholders are given the dividend. How much rate it is to be given? That is decided by the board of directors. You cannot demand. Suppose if I am the shareholder in a Reliance company, I cannot say that Reliance company should pay me 20% dividend. No. Reliance company directors will decide based on the profits, based on their future plans. They will decide what rate of dividend is to be declared to the shareholders. So they are called as equity shares. So what do you write? I will give you later proper definition from the textbook. Or if you have got textbooks, okay, please go through that. So equity shares are those shares which do not have any preferential rights in receiving the dividend or receiving the capital at the time of winding up of the company. They are given dividend at the end, okay, after paying to all the others. Okay, very simple, like if you host a party at your home, do you give food to the guests first or you will eat first. So in general, we offer food to guests first. So after all the guests are honored, their formalities are over, then whatever is left, we will enjoy. If nothing is left, we have to be idle. We can't blame others because it is our function. Similarly, equity shareholders are the real owners of the company. They just go on paying all the expenses. They will pay the reward to all the other claimants of capital. Then if whatever is left, that belongs to equity shareholders. Sometimes they get lump sum amount, they get more dividend. If the company is earning heavy profits, if all the amounts are paid and lot of profit is left over, so that can be enjoyed by the equity shareholders. Like in your function, you have prepared food for 100 members, so only 60 members came, lot of food is left, so you can enjoy for the remaining 3 days. Got my point? Similarly here, equity shareholders have got both risk as well as advantage. If everything is paid off, nothing is left, they can't demand. That may be loss, that may be a situation of risk. But if the company is in advantageous position, it is earning very good profits. If all the claimants are paid off, lot of amount is left over, so they can enjoy high rate of dividend. So remember that in case of investment, your reward, your benefit depends upon the risk you take. Higher the risk, higher the returns. So equity shareholders have got high risk, so they have got high returns also. Then comes preference shares. The word itself indicates preference means priority, importance. So to these shares, dividend is given first, then these people. While receiving the dividend, these people will stand first. पहले इनको देने के बाद बचे तो इनको देते. Like while taking the movie tickets, you will have that line na. So in that line, like when we are first, we are sure that we will get the ticket. Similarly, preference shareholders stand first in receiving the dividend. And at the time of winding up of the company, winding up means closing of the company, when capital is paid back, then also these people are paid first. That is the reason they are named like that. Preference means importance, priority is given. Like when some function is going on, we give priority to the chief guest, we give priority to the higher officials. Priority is given. For example, there are only 2 chairs, many people are standing over there, so what do? We do offer that chair to the highly profiled people. Okay, so similarly here, whenever the company earns dividend, first dividend is given. First, when the company earns profits and the board of directors decide to give the dividend, first the dividend is given to these people. Preference shareholders are paid first. Even the company is closed off, the capital is to be paid off, then also the preference shareholders are given capital first. If that money is left over, then it is paid to equity shareholders. So they are called as preference shares. Preference shares are those shares which carry certain preferential rights over receiving the dividend and the capital back at the time of winding up of the company. Then comes retained earnings. Retained earnings means the profits available with the company which are not paid to the equity shareholders or preference shareholders as dividends. For every business organization, it is the common policy. For example, if they earn 1 lakh rupees profit, actually this 1 lakh rupees is to be given to the shareholders. Okay, but the company will not pay the entire 1 lakh. They will pay only 80,000 rupees and say remaining 20,000 rupees they save. Because future is uncertain. There is no guarantee that suppose if in this year we have earned 1 lakh rupees profit, there is no guarantee that next year also we will earn the same profit or more than that. That type of certainty is not there in business. Okay, so that is the reason, as the future is uncertain, every business owner or the promoters or the entrepreneurs, the management of the company, they feel that some amount we have to keep it as savings. So these savings are called as reserves. Okay, some 20,000, 30,000, that depends upon the company's policy. So here they have decided to save 20% of the profits as reserves. So once you go on adding, suppose in 2019 you have saved 20,000, in 2020 also you have saved 20,000, that comes to 40,000. Next year also if you save some 30,000, that comes to 70,000. All that money, when you are just go on adding, they will become reserves. So they are called as retained earnings. Retained means apne paas hi rakhna. Actually, whenever the company earns profits, they are to be paid as dividend to the shareholders. But when the company playing the safe game method, they don't want to risk, so they will safeguard some amount. They will keep some profits with them only, without paying the dividend to the shareholders, the total profits. They will retain something. Retain means keeping with ours only, keeping with ours. Money kept with the company as not paid to the shareholders as dividend is called as retained earnings. Earnings means profits. Earnings means profits. So the profits earned by the company, total profits are not paid to the shareholders as dividend, but some part of the profits are left with the company. That may be called as reserves, or say retained earnings, or it may be called as plowing back of profits also. Clear? Next comes debentures. Debentures also like shares. It is also a certificate. The difference between the share and debenture is, in case of share, you will pay dividend. You will pay dividend only when there are profits. When company earns profits, you have to pay dividend to the shareholders. When you get money through debentures, when you issue debentures, so here for debenture holders, we pay interest. We have to pay interest. The reward given to the shareholders is called as dividend. The reward given to the debenture holders is called as interest. But one point, dividend is paid only when you earn profit, but interest is to be paid irrespective of your profits. Even though you don't get profit, you have to pay interest. In my previous class I told you that even sometimes if you do not have money, you have to borrow from outsiders and you have to pay interest. You cannot say that, sorry, I do not have money, I cannot pay interest. You cannot say that. Debenture means it is the acknowledgement of loan. Debenture is defined as acknowledgement of loan. Say for example, I have given 1 lakh rupees to Tata company. So Tata company gives me a receipt that we have taken 1 lakh rupees from Mr. Madhusudan, and they will stamp on that. So it is the acknowledgement of debt taken by the company. Okay. So for example, if I give 2 lakhs rupees to Sri Medhavi College as loan, so Sri Medhavi College will give me a certificate that yes, we have taken 2 lakhs rupees loan from Mr. Madhusudan. So they stamp and give me. That is called acknowledgement of debt. Debt means loan what we have given to the company. So the company will give you a certificate. For example, you given 1 lakh rupees to some X company. X company will give you this document, or they will write, Mr. So and so has given us 1 lakh rupees towards debentures, 5% debentures, that is the rate of interest they will mention. So the company seal will be there. So you are giving it for 5 years. So every year you will get interest irrespective of the company's profits. Company को profit आया या loss आया मतलब नहीं है. You will get 100% your interest. And after 5 years you will get your money back. Say for example, you have given 1 lakh rupees. Company has promised to pay 5% interest. 1 lakh rupees you have paid 5% interest. So every year you will get 5,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees per annum you will get. Clear? So that is what called as debentures. Debenture holders will not have any voting rights. They are the outsiders. Debenture holders are the outsiders. They cannot participate in the meetings. They do not have voting rights. Means while electing the board of directors or while appointing the board of directors, they cannot come to the company. They are really normal creditors. They are not taking any risk. Who are taking the risk? Shareholders are taking the risk. Risk means when they are giving the money, if they are getting profits, then only they are getting dividend. If the company is not earning profit, they are not getting anything. They are not demanding the share. That means they are taking the real burden. But these people are not taking the real burden. Irrespective of your profit or loss, they will get interest. Every year, according to the time, according to your promise, you have to pay them interest. So that is the reason they are not allowed to participate in the company's affairs. So these are the long-term sources. We have got equity shares, we have got preference shares, we have got retained earnings, and we have got debentures. In the next class, we will discuss about sources of medium-term finance.